Beautiful, Chris.
Nice job, Chris. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. It's that time. I realize we might be a minute early, but you know what? Better to be a minute early than a minute late. We're going to start this service off right. Hit it. You can put your hands together and sing along with us. Come on in. Here we go. Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. Where the Father waits with open arms, He's calling out your name. Come on in. Welcome home, you are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in, yeah. Come on in. You'll find a place of rest and illumination, where God within you helps you to light your way. He knows the peace you need and the hurt you're feeling. He longs to hold you and to wipe your tears away. Where the doors are locked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Where there's room enough in this home of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Unity of Tampa, come on in. All right. Good morning. Thanks for being with us. Happy Sunday.
Good morning. Morning, Elliot. Welcome back. Glad to see you. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Tampa, and welcome all of you watching online. We hope your day is as beautiful as it is here in Tampa Bay today. That's why we live here. We love it. My name is Lewis Key, and I am your platform assistant for today. Let me get organized here just a little bit so we can see this. There we go. First thing we'd like to do is welcome any new visitors. Do we have any new visitors today here for the first time? No. Yes. Where? I can't see. Right there. All right. All right, we've identified you, and now you are going to be sorry. No,
We will call you out, but it's in love. It's
yes.
loving.
Yes, definitely. And all, you've just received your free gift, the flower that you can take home. You also, at the back, when you leave today, if you'd like, you can stop by and get a free T-shirt of multiple colors back there. I saw the sizes are a little bit different based on what color, so you may have to pick the right color for your size, but whatever that might be. And we'll move on from there. Announcements, let's see, Sunday Bulletin. All your announcements you get, other than listening to me today, this morning, is you'll get them from your bulletin, the email newsletter, the website, Facebook. And please, if you're going to check in on social media, do that, and then silence your cell phones so we don't have any interruptions from this wonderful service that we're going to give you today. Next, we have Ask an Ambassador. Anybody in here, if you have any questions, go look for the person that has the button on them that says, Questions, Ask Me. and they will have all your answers. And if you can't find that person, then look for somebody that has a name tag with their name on it, like me, and that indicates that we know everything there is to know, and you can ask us. So, yes, we're the wise ones. Next, we have Faye. Congratulations to Faye on an outstanding performance. I know she's not here today, but she may be watching online, so excellent. Thank you very much for your job. And Reiki Healing, okay, that is not happening today, so it's going to resume next Sunday. As you can see, no, you can't see because you moved on to the next one, but anyway. We don't need to spend time on that anyway because it's not happening today. Summertime snacks for kids, the community outreach. Norma is coordinating all of this, and what we want to do is bring individually wrapped snacks and drinks to Fellowship Hall. Needed items, and you can get more information on the website about this, but needed items are healthy snacks and drinks. Keep that in mind, healthy snacks and drinks. Needed items are popcorn, crackers, goldfish, not the kind that swim, but the kind that crunches in your mouth when you eat it, cookies, fruit cups, and applesauce, juice boxes, etc. So Norma's got a table ready in the Fellowship Hall, and it says healthy snacks. Oh, to be a kid again, because as we get older, we realize our health foods change quite a bit. So anyway, we're going to be doing this all summer. So keep that in mind and keep bringing it, because the kids, they have to eat every day. They don't just eat once and then stop for a week or two. All right. Next, donate blood. We want your blood. Yes, we do. You all saw the blood van outside here. I think we've already had 2 people or more that have given blood today. And on this Memorial Day weekend, when thousands and thousands of men and women have given their blood in honor of servicing our country and helping us to maintain freedom, what an honor it would be for you to be able to donate some blood today to help someone that's still living. And we hope that you can do that. If you're physically able to, we would like to encourage you to please, after the service, go right outside here and donate some blood. I've been told this only takes about 10 minutes to do this, so it's not very much of your time, and it could mean the difference in someone living. So please consider that. Next, we have the Vision Team meeting, Sunday, June the 11th. This is for all the people that are on Vision Teams and also anyone that's interested in joining any of the Vision Teams. There's a number of them, which you can see those on the website. You can get more information on there. unitytampa.org is the website, I believe. I always want to try to put Unity of Tampa in there, and it comes back and says, you ain't going nowhere, buddy. And next we have meet and greet in the Fellowship Hall. Snack Angels. We have hot dogs today. Can we have a hot dog eating contest? See who can eat the most? Or we could try to see who can eat one hot dog in the fewest bites. I did that when I was a kid once. I had 5 hot dogs. The first one I ate in 5 bites, then 4 bites, then 3 bites, then 2 bites, and then I stuffed 1 hot dog in my mouth. And my family was enamored, to say the least. I didn't feel really good later on that day. And bingo. We've got to get a slide to go up here for the bingo, for the music bingo that's coming up. And we don't have that yet. So.
It's not June yet.
Oh, really? Yeah, and this is July 14th. We just want you all to be thinking about this and plan it so that you don't miss it and plan anything else in place. July 14th on Friday, it's a Friday night, 7:30 to 9:30. We're going to have music bingo. The socialites are putting this on. It'll be $5 per person. It's very affordable. That includes 1 bingo card, and then we're going to have 3 games, and you can play up to 3 cards at a time. So we're going to use this as a fundraiser. So hopefully a lot of people will play a lot of bingo, and there'll be food and drinks as well. So please keep that in mind. Next, birthdays. Birthdays. We have, who in here has a birthday coming up this week? We all have birthdays. Yes, we do. Very astute observation there, Hanson. May the 31st, we have Gail Gibson. Gail, yeah, she's here. There she is. All right, happy birthday. And no one else, we don't know of anyone else that has a birthday. Is there someone else?
Oh,
Hand out the buttons.
And actually, tomorrow, I cannot miss this. Tomorrow is my mother, Sue Priest. This is a big one. This is her 70th birthday. I know I'm outing her a little bit right now, but of course, Jillian and I wish we could be in California celebrating with her, but got the baby on the way, so the timing. Yeah.
Priorities take over.
Well, let's sing happy birthday to all of them, shall we? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God loves you. Happy birthday to you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. And I have one other thing to say, this being Memorial Day weekend. First of all, is there anyone in here who has a family member or a friend who has given their life for the service to the country? There's one. I have one. There's two, three, and I have one. Actually, my uncle Louis, who I was named after, was killed in World War II in Italy about a year before the war ended. And I never got to know him, but I think about him often. And we were actually over in Italy at Nettuno at the cemetery, and saw his white cross amongst over 8,500 white crosses that were there. And you think about all these people that have given their life for our freedom, and then you realize there's another 13 or 14 cemeteries just like the one I was at in Europe spread out for the same thing. And then, of course, we've had all these other wars and skirmishes where people have given their lives. So it's hard to try to figure out how can you honor these people. You don't want them to get out of your mind. You don't want to forget them. And I found an interesting quote here. It's from, it ties right into what Nancy's going to be speaking about this morning. It's from Jennifer Granholm, which is a lady that's, I think she's the Secretary of Energy right now. But she made this comment: ceremonies are important, but our gratitude has to be more than visits to the troops and once a year Memorial Day ceremonies. We honor the dead best by treating the living well.
How about a bigger round of applause for that? Thank you, Louis. Thank you for all your help this morning, and thank you to Patrick for being our board angel on duty. And we're going to keep Patrick in our prayers this week. He's having another procedure that we're hoping will make him feel great. So, yes, we're all praying for you. And yes, she did tell me. So just want you to know, we can't let you go slithering out of here this week. So how's everybody this day? Beautiful day, right? Okay, so I'm grateful that you came to be with us this Sunday, because sometimes it gets a little empty on the holidays around here, and we don't like to be in here by ourselves. So thank you for joining us today. I also just want to bring up first our Facebook audience. I want to say thank you to everybody and have a safe Memorial Day weekend. And also I want to point out that to thank everybody who joined us for Hope this week. So on Monday night, there were 17 of us who showed up at Hope, our first meeting, and I think there's another couple of pictures of the other? No, you didn't put them up. Okay. So we have 17 people who showed up. And if you were one of them, would you stand? Thank you. So we showed up in style. It was our induction into Hope. So we had mighty strong turnout with 2 full tables, and we looked like we knew what we were doing even when we didn't. So that was pretty fun. All right, let's take a moment and say our affirmation together today and set the stage for what we want to bring into our hearts. There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And our daily word today, as it should be, I'm picking tomorrow's, which is Memorial Day's message, which goes with what Lewis started us off on and what I'll be talking about. I honor the sacrifice of those who served. Although they have passed from earthly life, the men and women who gave their lives in service to their countries humble me and fill me with thoughts of honor and gratitude. My memorial observance may involve taking time in prayer to bless and remember them. Perhaps the most important way I can express my appreciation for their sacrifice is to renew my own commitment to creating a world where all people can live in peace. In my thoughts and through my words and actions, I hold to the truth that all people are living expressions of God. I am not discouraged if I don't see immediate evidence of my conviction. The memory of those I honor today strengthens me and gives me hope for the future. And from Hebrews 12, verse 1, therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us run with perseverance the race that is set before us. And so that's a lovely message for us to hold on to this week. And I'm going to turn it back to you.
Sounds good. Let's stand and sing one more time. Thank you for this day. Like we said, it's a beautiful day. Let's just all be grateful for it, shall we? Hey. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Sing.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This healing, this healing, this healing day.
This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Whoa, thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends.
Thank you for my friends, Spirit.
And thank you for singing along, man. All right, that's going to be a wrap on Thank You for This Day because we're going to start a new song
Next week?
Next week, yeah.
So do we have any clue what we're getting?
I'm not sure the director has a clue, so I'll
Well,
speak with him, though.
Yeah, speak to him and let me know, will you? All right, well, I have two amazing stories to share appropriate for this day. So the first one, I'm going to read these both to you. So for 17 days and 17 nights, John McCrae, a soldier in World War I and a surgeon during the Second Battle of Ypres in Belgium, said that he and his comrades never took their clothes off or their boots except occasionally. 17 days and 17 nights. In all that time, while I was awake, gunfire and rifle fire never ceased. For 60 seconds, he said. Yet behind all the noise, we could see sights of the dead, the wounded, the maimed, and the terrible anxiety lest the line should give away. Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae was a soldier, physician, and poet. He was also the son of a military leader who grew up believing in fighting for his country. His friend Alexis Helmer was killed during the battle on May 2nd. And while McCrae was performing the burial service for his friend, he noticed the beautiful red poppies that quickly grew around the graves of those who died. The seeds had scattered in the wind and sat dormant in the ground, only germinating when the land was disturbed by the fierce fighting of World War I. The day after his friend's burial, McCrae composed the poem In Flanders Field. He wrote the poem in the voice of the dead soldiers. It speaks of their sacrifice and issues and the challenge for the living to press on. So I'm going to read you the poem. In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row. That marks our place, and in the sky, the lark still bravely singing fly. Fly scarce was heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow. We loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders field. McCrae composed the poem while sitting in the back of an ambulance at an advanced dressing station outside Ypres. This location today is now known as John McCrae Memorial Site. But the really cool part that adds on to this is that in 1918, an American professor, Moina Michael, was so touched by the poem that she wrote a responsive poem to the fallen soldiers. She vowed to wear the poppy to remember all that who had died for our freedom, and she became known as the Poppy Lady. In 1971, Congress declared Memorial Day a national holiday, although many of us may remember it started as Decoration Day. Other countries began to wear a single poppy on Memorial Day and later included Veterans Day to include all living and deceased veterans. And I don't know how many of you remember, but when I was a kid, that's what we gave. We all wore our poppies on Memorial Day weekend, and I don't see them anymore. I don't know what happened to that. All right, this other story I want to share too, because I think it's something none of us would know unless we looked it up. But this woman, Julia Compton Moore, made this amazing contribution to the quality of Army family life. And it's now summed up in the Ben Franklin Global Forum's press release when they announced the establishment of the Julia Compton Moore Award. So her actions were to change the death notification policy of soldiers who died in the Army. It used to be, well, it started after the historic battle in Vietnam of the La Drang Valley, and she did not think it was appropriate that cab drivers would be delivering telegrams to families to tell them that their soldiers had died. So she went to battle on this, and she asked that the news be delivered in a more humane way. So thanks to her, the new policy became one of delivering news in person to both primary and secondary next of kin. Notifications are now considered a matter of the highest priority, taking precedence over all other responsibilities the notifiers have. Whenever possible, the notifier's grade is equal to or higher than the grade of the soldier killed. And if the primary next of kin is also a soldier, the notifier is supposed to be higher than that person's level. This change serves as a shining example of one of the many contributions to the morale and welfare of Army families. The award recognizes civilian spouses of soldiers for outstanding contributions to the United States Army. Fort Benning is now named Fort Moore after her and her husband. Isn't that amazing? I thought that was a really wonderful story. You know, we often talk about that here. It only takes one person to raise enough noise to start a movement, but to have done something like this that affects so many families. I was not aware that deliveries were made via cab. I did not know that. I was so surprised. Anyway, and so with both of those stories in mind, we're going to do something a little different as we prepare for meditation. So I would just invite you to get into a quiet space and just listen to the music for a moment. So now I just ask you to relax. Take a few deep breaths. And allow the words I'm going to share to be taken in as appropriate for you. Today, we're looking at ways that we can memorialize those who have gone before us and those who are still with us. How do we learn to remember and celebrate the lives of the loved ones those who have sacrificed for our freedom, and those veterans that are still amongst us and our family and friends? During this Memorial Holiday weekend, I honor those who have played a role in my life, those who have made sacrifices in the name of freedom. Thanks to each of them, I am free to make choices every day, including the choice of what I want to remember. As I reflect upon my life, I choose the memories I wish to bring forward, those that bring me joyful thoughts, and those that bring me peace. In doing so, I gently file those memories that serve as painful reminders and weaken my spirit, filing them away without attachment. Events from the past may linger, and some will create emotional barriers that prevent me from fully letting go and moving forward. But it is up to me to bless the past as a learning experience. I am grateful for the memories I have of those who have played a role in my life, and those who left behind a legacy that brings such joy in remembrance. I am ready, willing, and able to make courageous and mindful choices as I move forward with peace of mind and positive intentions. I am connected at all times to divine spirit wherever I go. Whatever I do, I am divinely uplifted. And I thank God for the spiritual freedom with which I have been blessed. I take a few moments now to rest in the quiet of my mind. The light of God shines brightly on my life. And as I return to this moment in time, recognizing the importance of a memory that works to honor people, I return feeling refreshed and relaxed and centered in peace. Good morning, Logan. It's only a matter of hours until I see you. We are driving to Maryland. And just for note, Louis, I'm not sure if healthy snacks include Twizzlers, but they're already in the car. In fact, a lot of the stuff in that food bag may not go to Norma. But there's nuts and popcorn too. All right, so Memorial Day. I wanted to think about how we could use this to help ourselves, because if we don't have someone in the military that we've lost, then we need to think about who we are memorializing this weekend. So there are many ways that people will celebrate Memorial Day weekend. But since all veterans have the right to be buried in a veteran cemetery, some of us have family members who were not killed in the war, who are laid to rest in veteran cemeteries. Both Jeffrey and my parents are in veteran cemeteries because both our fathers were veterans. So my parents are in Colorado and his are here. So this is always a weekend when we remember those who have transitioned before us, not always just those who sacrificed their lives. For many of us, it's also a memorial time. And when we honor someone, we typically remember the place they held in our hearts, all the wonderful qualities that they exhibited in our lives. Sometimes a person's name comes up and we have these images of them. And we hear their name and all this recollection starts. And most of us remember all the good. Even when you look up memorial gifts or memory gifts, everything that pops up is related to these 5 words: love, cherish, forever, always, and heaven. Those are the words on all the gifts. It's about remembering with love. It's about remembering who we cherished and what we cherished about them. But regardless of who the person is that we memorialize, what we shared, what they did, how they transitioned from their earthly life, we choose to see the good. For example, I think of my father on Memorial Weekend because we buried him on Memorial Weekend. And so we had his celebration of life service this particular weekend, 16 years ago. And we took him off life support on May 22nd. But when May 22nd comes, I don't remember taking my father off life support. I remember my father. And I consciously choose to remember him in more favorable ways than how it all ended. But the question for us today is, why don't we choose to acknowledge and honor the favorable qualities in people while they are still present? That is my question for us today. We can have the most contentious relationships and the person passes and all you hear out of that other person's mouth is all these wonderful qualities and attributes. Because we would feel so guilty if we did anything else. That's the truth. I had a contentious relationship with my father. It wasn't all good, but I don't drive back on that. I don't see how that helps me. I don't see how holding on to those memories would be good. So I remember the parts that worked and try to honor the life that he had and the life I had with him. But when our loved ones transition from their earthly life, it seems to me like selective memory kicks in. And they're remembered as these amazing people, even if it isn't how we felt when they were present. And the question is why? And part of the answer, from what I believe, and I could really research, is that it comes down to human behaviors that we've adopted along the way as part of our existence. These behaviors prevent us from making conscious choices to honor people in our lives on a daily basis. And the only way to improve that conscious practice is to understand what behaviors we've adopted and how they are preventing a more positive approach as we remember everything on a daily basis. So the first behavior we should observe in ourselves is the tendency to take liberties with those we love. Now, sometimes we take liberties with those who love us that we don't love. So you may have a friend or a relative who just is constantly giving love to you, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're so annoying, right? You may. Don't act like everyone who you loved you back. And the truth is that everyone that loved us, we didn't love back. That's just not a real thing. There are many people who have loved people who never gave them that love back. But the problem is when we're with each other, live and present, front and center, we take it for granted. We take liberties with each other. We think, oh, no big deal. We feel safe. We feel secure. And the hardest part is that sometimes our loved ones and the people who care about us are the recipients of our worst behaviors. Some of you recall, I've talked about this in the past, that we can get a phone call from a friend and or some acquaintance and answer the phone with, oh, hello, or hi, it's so great to hear from you, after we just yelled at somebody in the house. Quiet, I need to answer the phone, hello, right? Come on, you know what I'm talking about. How many times do we do that? How many times does the person who's calling that we're familiar with not get our best self? They get our secondary self. So we can save the best for all those other people we have to put that persona on for. Taking the time and patience necessary with a friend or a colleague, acting rushed and impersonal with people we care about. So we need to get a handle on how many liberties we take with each other and stop it. Think about that this weekend. Who is in your presence? Who was in your presence? Who's going to be in your presence? And how are you treating them? And how are you memorializing them? Right now, live, front and center. The second thing is judgment. It's another one of our many behaviors that are not very flattering. And it prevents us from consciously choosing to honor and respect people on a daily basis. It's easier to pass judgment on the way people act while they're still present. We are not about to pass judgment on people when they've gone. So we need to think about that. Do we really want to be those people that are passing judgment on the people that are present, that we have the chance to make feel good about themselves, and that we have the chance to feel good about? Not every relationship is good, let's be honest. And not every relationship is easy. But that doesn't mean that we should take liberties or judge. Third is we often think we have all the time in the world, but we all know better. Time and time again, we've all lost people in the blink of an eye. Surprised, shocked. Yes, sometimes we know ahead of time, but oftentimes that's not the case. So we always think we have all this time to mend relationships. Well, we don't. And so we need to be mindful that we're wasting time. There's only present moment. That's all we have with anybody. Present moment. And holding on to grudges or being frustrated about petty issues just hurts us and puts bad stuff in our memory banks. And while all three of these practices are human and quite normal, they impact us and our ability to have honorable relationships with the people in our lives. And at the end of our life journey, if you've ever been with people at the end of their life journey, and I have been with many, they are never talking about where they worked, what their jobs were, how much money they have in the bank. What they're talking about is who they had relationships with, who they loved, who they want to take with them in their heart. That's what the conversations are about. Nobody in their dying breath says, hey, I wanted to tell you, this job I had, or this house I owned, or this property I lived on. They don't talk about that. They talk about who was there with them, who they met along the way. What we choose to memorialize about anyone or any situation can either work for us or against us. And there's this wonderful woman, Dr. Bikuni Kusama, who died at the age of 92 a few years ago. But I used to read what she wrote about remembering. And she said our memory is a helpful function of our mind, and it helps us avoid things like danger and teaches us to take precautions and to learn because we remember. But she explained that if we don't know how to channel and manage our memories, we experience unnecessary problems, including anger. She recommends that we pay attention to three important aspects of our memory. The first one is paying attention to what automatically gets entered and what we consciously enter. So you're driving down the street, something enters your mind, right? Is that what you want there? So consciously choosing what goes in and paying attention to what goes in. The second thing is she suggests that we reflect. We pay attention to how many memories we're reflecting upon and what they are. Are they working for us or are they working against us? What are we recalling? What are we choosing to remember? When I think, for example, of my best friend, I don't think of the night the police knocked on the door to tell me he had been killed 5 minutes from the house. I remember all the years of our friendship. And what a great friendship we had. I don't recall that night of the accident. I don't recall going to the funeral home. I don't recall handling all the arrangements. In fact, until I'm saying this right now, I couldn't even tell you all the details. The only detail I do remember is that I was supposed to get be on the plane with that body, and I lost my ticket in the airport. And at that time, we didn't have digital copies. And the body went without me, and I had a complete meltdown. I will not forget that. But the truth is, I had a great relationship with this person, and I recall it all the time. I was so lucky to have a great best friend like that. Somebody that was completely platonic, but just a great friend that would always have my back. Dr. Kusama explained that we tend to think our memory, let me go back. So first one, what gets entered. Second one, things we reflect upon. I got carried away with mine. Third is how we treat our memories when they do come up. How do we treat them? What do we do with them? And she said that we tend to think our memory is a record of what happened, but what we forget is our memory is not objective. She said, so there's no objective record of what happened. If you ask the same two people who saw the same thing, they don't have the same story, right? We create our memory based on where we put our attention, what we choose to focus on, and we choose to focus on some facts, and we conveniently ignore others, like the part we may have played in the problem. So we need to understand how this works. Paying attention to the negative aspects of a person or situation will result in creating negative memories. Paying attention to the positive aspects of a person or situation will create positive memories. And this is where selective memory comes in. So ultimately, we play a major role in how our memory is going to serve us. And she says whenever we have a negative memory, we should scan our memories to find the good in that person that we are remembering and uncover the bigger picture of our experiences with them. She said it works with those still present and those who have transitioned. And we need to choose to stop suffering in our mind with memories that are not working for us in order to find our own peace. Now, we know we have to put a spiritual lens on this, right? And Unity has two principles we could easily follow for this spiritual lens. The first one being that God is good and active in everything, everywhere. And the second being that I am good, I am naturally good, and so is everyone else because God is in them. So if we know all that's true, why are we choosing the bad stuff? If we know that's true. Charles Fillmore said everything was centered in love, which was Jesus' message too. It's all centered in love. And he said, love is an inner quality that sees good everywhere and in everybody. It insists that all is good, and by refusing to see anything but good, it causes that quality finally to appear uppermost in itself and in all things. So if we keep it there, we're going to only remember the good. I want to end today's message with a rephrased version of the question I asked you earlier. Can we choose to acknowledge and honor the favorable qualities in people while they are still present in our lives? Let's review today's lessons. Choosing what we memorialize will help us if we're willing to first look for the positive attributes in everyone, acknowledge and reinforce those qualities. Number 2, stop taking liberties with those we love. These are the people who should receive our best. Number 3, make time to heal broken relationships. Conversations are not possible when they're gone. Number 4, seize every opportunity to create positive outcomes. Time on this earth is not promised. Our affirmation today is, I choose loving thoughts. Let's say that together. I choose loving thoughts. Our quote today, life is full of good and bad memories. We must make conscious decisions to choose how we memorialize every person in our lives. So let's take that in. So we pause now to recognize that we can choose to remember in ways that honors those who have gone before us and those who are still present in our lives. We are grateful for all the sacrifices that have been made to provide us with the freedom to choose. And so we use that wisely. And so it is. Amen. If you have a prayer need, please put your prayers in the prayer box in the back, and we will make sure you get prayed for. I'm going to ask everybody to hold Patrick in your prayers on Thursday morning, because we see this working well for you, Patrick. And I also want to say thank you to everyone who supports this amazing place and our ability to serve our community and do so many wonderful things as a spiritual family. I'm blessed to have you in my life, and this whole place is blessed to have you as part of it. And so we just say thank you to you. And I ask you to say the prosperity prayer with your life and this spiritual family in your consciousness today. We have faith in God as our instant, constant, abundant supply and supplier. We have faith in God to open ways when to the human sense there is no way. We have faith in God to guide us in all our ways, and our health, happiness, and prosperity are assured. Thank you, God, for your abundant good, now flowing forth to meet our every need. Amen. Thank you. And so let's bring our children on down.
Feeling good, like I should. Went and took a walk around my neighborhood. I'm feeling blessed, never stressed. Got the sunshine on my Sunday best. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Elliot. Hey, so this is our group for today, and we have been making plans because as summer is coming, we have opportunity to do a lot of fun stuff. Some of it will be service projects, some of it will be fundraising, so you will hear more from us later.
Thanks, Heather. Those very kind words, Nancy, as always, like at the end there. And I want to thank every one of you for the lovely bassinet that Jillian and I received this week. So for anyone that contributed to that, and just all the prayers that we've received over all this time of her being pregnant. So, and more on the way. That's right. Yeah, we're gonna get the chair soon too. I might have to share some photos of the baby's room with Nancy for us to put up maybe in a couple weeks. So, yeah. But thank you again, guys. It really is it's a blessing to be a part of this community. Always. Yeah. There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone and some remain. All these places have their moments with lovers and friends I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I love them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you. All these memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll stop and think about them. In my life, I loved you more. In my life, I loved you more. Thanks. Couple decent songwriters there, you know. We wanted to play that decent little song there. So. All right, let's stand and sing the peace song. We'll get you guys out of here right on time. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, a family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now let's join together in saying the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is great. Have a wonderful holiday weekend. And don't forget, we have hot dogs.
Thank you.